Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pash On Podcast. Let's get started with your host, Brian Pash.
Hi, this is Brian Pash, and welcome to another podcast. On today's podcast, I want to challenge the automotive website community to rethink how they're going to support Google Analytics 4, and what can we do together to help dealer groups who are trying to support multiple platforms within their multi-store organization. So let me set the context for today's podcast. For the last 16 years, I've been writing about how dealers should be setting up Google Analytics to measure the effectiveness of their marketing, to see how consumers use their websites, and how to track the quality of engagement for, the different investments they're making in social media, video advertising, Google Ads, or other advertising sources. And over the years, I've written books, conducted workshops to train the next generation of leaders how to use Google Analytics. And for the most part, every dealer has the current Google Analytics instance installed. Whether they use it or not, whether it's set up properly or not, dealers do have access to look at some of the reports that come from the current version of Google Analytics. But Google Analytics 4 is now released, and more dealers are calling and asking about this new platform, the benefits of the platform, and, some of the challenges because it's very different than the current version of analytics. So it struck me that instead of recreating the chaos that has been common within the website platform community, would it be possible to take this moment of time and embrace some common set of event naming conventions so that a dealer group that has, say, a Syncro platform, a Dealer.com platform, a Dealer Inspire platform, that they could have a sense of group-level reporting because each website company supported a standard set of Google Analytics events. So what's an event? Well, when a consumer comes to a dealer's website and clicks on the navigational menu, maybe moves themselves through a list of vehicles, clicks on a particular vehicle, gets on that vehicle detail page or VDP, it's very important to know what consumers are doing on that page. When they click through the photo gallery, events can be sent into Google Analytics to show how many photos they looked at. When they click on the Carfax icon, Google Analytics, through events, could tell you how many people actually click on the Carfax. The same thing for window stickers or those CTA buttons like Customize My Payments, Schedule a Test Drive, Evaluate Your Trade. Everything a consumer does on the website can be sent to Google Analytics as an event. Now, what's the problem? In our current ecosystem, there are some website platforms that don't throw any events. There are some website platforms that send partial events. And then there's some who have followed my suggestions and have created a very detailed set of events to record consumer engagement. But the problem is there's no standards. Now, I'm not proposing that the competing website companies get in a room and decide how to program websites. That would be impossible. What I am asking is a compromise that was recently brought up in a discussion I had with one of the largest website providers that serves the automotive community. What we talked about is how could we as an industry better support Google Analytics 4. You see, there is a software product from Google that's tied to analytics, which is called Google Tag Manager. And what Tag Manager allows, if you know how to program in Tag Manager, it allows web professionals to send events into Google Analytics based on what people are clicking or doing on the website without reprogramming the website code. For example, how Syncro develops their websites, how Dealer eProcess or Dealer On develops their websites are different. Behind the scenes, their programmers are using different variables, different naming conventions behind the scenes to accomplish their website look and feel. But what Google Tag Manager does is just look at what the consumer is doing on the website. What are they clicking on? What are they doing? And that is the opportunity and the challenge that I'd like to present for today's podcast. I'm calling on all website companies to partner with me to create a Tag Manager script for your website platform that sends a standardized library of event names. What does that mean? Let's just look at a VDP for a moment. There's typically 10 distinct elements that we would want to track outside of the navigational menus. Okay, so did they play a video? That could be an event. Did they click on the photo gallery or swipe? Did they click on the digital retailing button, the trade button, the schedule a test drive button, the contact us? Did they click on the texting or chat feature? Did they click on the specifications tab? Did they click on the window sticker? Did they save the car? Did they click on the Carfax if it was a used car? When you think of it, there's probably 15, maybe 20 max events that a dealer would want to track to measure engagement. Outside of the VDP, you have some events for service scheduling. You have some navigational events in an SRP, like maybe comparing vehicles. But when you step back, auto dealer websites basically perform in similar ways. So wouldn't it be great if we sent to the dealer community a library of Tag Manager scripts that would be supported by each website provider? For example, if you are a Dealer.com customer, Dealer.com would provide a Google Tag Manager script that would throw events with the same names as a script from Dealer eProcess or a script from Syncro, meaning each website company, I'm challenging to write the script to throw those 20 popular events in a similar naming convention. So for example, at the top level, maybe the event category would be interface. And then the next level could be clicked on photo, clicked on video, clicked on CTA. And then the next level could be maybe what the CTA button was. Let me say it again. There's a hierarchy of events. There's 3 levels currently in Google Analytics: event category, event action, event label. So wouldn't it be great if a multi-store dealer group had a Dealer.com, a Syncro, a Dealer eProcess, Dealer Inspire, maybe a Dealer On website because of OEM mandates? And by installing these scripts, their Google Analytics would have the same events firing for similar actions just on different website platforms. What's the advantage of this? Well, the big advantage is then dealers could do roll-up reporting for their group and have a much easier time of inspecting advertising, traffic quality, consumer engagement, and design changes across the enterprise. Now, there are some challenges with this model. Number one, depending on how the scripts are written, we want to make sure they're stable and cooperative with other scripts that may be running in Tag Manager containers, but that's something that can be tested. Also, there needs to be some methodology in place to record any major changes to website structure that could affect the Tag Manager. But wouldn't it be nice to have scripts that would be supportive of Google Analytics 4 to give dealers the events that they need to track engagement and conversions? If we can get the website community to support this idea, then we can also implement a standard set of soft and hard conversion goals, similar to what was proposed in our research report this past August. My commitment will be to help coordinate the naming convention, that hierarchy of events that all website platforms would support. It would be done through Tag Manager, so no one has to recode their websites. It would take a few hours of time for each website provider. This is not a crazy request. And then what I would do is create a set of goals that would look for these events so dealers could have a comprehensive set of hard and soft conversions that they could use to optimize their Google Ads campaigns, to optimize their overall marketing spend based on consumer engagement and conversions. So if you're a dealer, if you are the manager of a dealer group, if you're a marketing manager and understand the power of being able to look in analytics on a dealer on-site, a dealer.com site, a Syncro, Dealer eProcess, Dealer Inspire, Team Velocity, whatever website platform you are currently using, and the same events with the same hierarchy are in each Google Analytics account, then for the first time, you would be able to do roll-up reporting using Google Data Studio to really spot some interesting differences, meaning how many buttons should you have on your website and what should they be labeled? Is there a difference between positioning buttons? Is there a difference in how you're presenting vehicles? Well, it makes A/B testing, it makes different types of analysis so much easier. And since Google Analytics 4 is on the horizon, wouldn't it make sense to create this script for Google Analytics 4 for each website platform? Now, I've talked about the great work that Syncro is doing, led by Colleen Harris for Google Analytics 4. And she's been talking about this, also known as the Google Whisperer. But Syncro is doing some amazing event-level work to allow dealers to see the engagement on Syncro websites. So they've already made a commitment to GA4 in a big way. I'm calling on all of the website companies to reach out to me and say, Brian, I'm going to raise my hand. I'm going to create the Google Tag Manager script to support those 20 or 25 core events that are similar on all website platforms. And my goal will be to release this information at the Digital Marketing Strategies Conference in the Napa Valley in May. And I'm putting that timeline, an aggressive timeline for May, for a very simple reason. It's not that hard. Meaning, if a good customer of Syncro or Dealer.com or Dealer eProcess or Dealer On called their team up and said, I need you to write a Tag Manager script to record these 20 events, they could do it. It might take them a few hours. Let's just say it took a day. Well, that same script, which would be looking for events firing in the code level of their website platform, could be used on other dealer accounts. Now, there's some exceptions. There may be two different versions of website platforms on the market, and maybe a website company might say, hey, if your websites are version 1.0, use this script. If your websites are version 2.0, use this script. But again, I'm not asking for people to rewrite their website code. I'm asking them to use Tag Manager to create a script that would support a unified set of events that could be used for dealers who have multiple website platforms in their group. DMSC starts May 22nd and runs through May 24th. That gives the website community a few months to work with me to support a Google Analytics 4 Tag Manager script to support key consumer engagement events. So I'm calling on everyone listening to this podcast to reach out to their website companies. Ask them, tell them you would like to have Pash's standard events and standard goals installed in your website so that you have a third-party, standardized, independent way to measure the engagement of consumers on your website, the conversions, both hard and soft, and use that to further optimize your marketing strategies. Dealers who are attending DMSC in the Napa Valley will be able to get first crack at those scripts, and I will personally lead a workshop on how to leverage that data to create unprecedented advantages in their advertising campaigns. So please, if you are working for a website company, run it up the flagpole. Let's get the resources to commit to a unified Google for standardized Tag Manager script for event tracking that supports a standard naming convention. And I'll keep you posted on how this project rolls out, but I'm super excited that there's a possibility that we can do a better job for multi-store groups to have a standard set of events that can be used for centralized reporting. I want to thank everyone for listening to today's podcast. Please share it on your social media channels, and if you would like to attend the Digital Marketing Strategies Conference in the Napa Valley, I'm running a special promotion in the month of February for dealers that you can just reach out to me, Brian, at brianpash.com, and say, Brian, I want the special discount code for DMSC tickets. It's only running in February, and I really want to identify the people who want the next level competitive advantages for their digital marketing, digital retailing, and overall retail strategy. Come on out to the Napa Valley in May. So thank you for listening to today's podcast. I look forward to sharing time with you in the future. Make sure you listen to the previous podcast episodes, and I'll see you next time on the Pash On Podcast.